is a great video, man. I'm sorry, the teleprompter keeps messing up. What are you doing, man? Welcome back to another video, guys. I wouldn't say the last What's It Like Being in a Cult video is doing good, but I would say it's doing numbers, even if it is the most disliked video I have. I'm gonna address a few things from the last video, tell some details from what I experienced again that I didn't get into detail with, and I'm gonna reply to a few comments on it too. The only thing echoing in my mind is what I said in a very brief period in the video. There's also some people that go on forums and YouTube videos to talk about their cult in a really nice way and make it seem like what you're saying is a very big lie. Boy, am I glad I mentioned that. Okay, so before we get to the tofu and potatoes of this video, why do you say tofu instead of meat?
He's vegan, just deal with it.
That's disgusting. If you guys are wondering if it actually is a cult, the Potter's House, Victory Chapel, the Door, I created a little demonstration for you. And here it is. All jokes aside, being in a cult is serious business, and do not let it happen to you. The last video I said I wouldn't tell anyone not to go, but if anyone asked me if they should go, I would definitely say no. Now let's see a couple of comments from people that were in the same cult as me at the same time. I was in the same cult. What are the odds of that? Well, very high, seeing as this was one of my best friends at the time. Still is, not that I don't like him. The sad truth, straight facts. Amazing video. This is a freaking cult! Everything you're saying, Jearrod, is facts. You've outdone yourself, sir. I'm glad you're putting this on blast. I was told that I couldn't even go to the mall. Oh, what kind of poop is that? Yada yada other stuff. She was there at the same time as me. She's cool. OMG, so true. Everything you said. So very sad to admit, but very, very true. That was one of my brother's best friends at the church. Seems like she agrees. This is how many years ago? And you're still so bothered to make a YouTube video? How about, oh, whoa. This is actually what ignited the video. So this lady goes to the church still, and she went there when I went there. She's kind of known for being a grumpy lady. So to protect her fragile identity, let's just call her Gretchen. She looks like her name is Gretchen. But first, let's give her a round of applause. Thank you. If you hadn't shared my video, it wouldn't have gone up higher on the algorithm. And that was one of my most viewed videos, so thank you. I just spent like 3 minutes explaining stuff about her and being passive aggressive, but let's not put that in the video. Instead, let's be positive. Let's just say there was only 2 mean people under the video, and those 2 people went to the cult still. So if you want, you can go back for years and years and years and see people's accounts saying that it is a cult. The Potter's House, Victory Chapel, and the Door. They're all called different things. I heard that they changed their name because the original one got considered a cult, so they wanted to change their name and keep spreading as that name. So it'd be, you know, secretly they are a part of the cult, but they don't have the cult name. But now everyone knows. Everyone knows they're just one big cult. People will argue over and over that it's not a cult when they're in it. Really, it's just their self-righteousness. But I thank you for being so holy. Here's a short clip from like the 60s of interviews about the cult.
Whose members say their families were threatened and ripped apart. It happens when one family member wants to leave the church and another doesn't.
I had to choose between my parents or church.
And what did you choose?
For a while, I chose the church.
This teenager attended Victory Chapel in South Dennis for 7 years, even after her parents left.
And what did you think would happen to them?
I thought they would go to hell.
She eventually came home, and now, with her parents, can only see her old friends on home video. Because the church says you're in or you're out, her old friends pretend she's dead.
As you can see, it's been going on for a long time. That video was meant for a box TV. They've been doing it for a long time, and they're going to continue to do it for a long time. So let's talk about 10%. For any income you get, whether it's your paycheck or your tax returns, you have to give 10% to the church. That's your tithe, and you have to tithe to be in anything in the church. It's a law by God in the Bible that they follow, and if you break it, you're breaking God's law. Blah, blah, if you don't pay or forget to pay, you have to pay 15%. But the churches that get sent out from every church follows that same rule. They give 10% to the church that sent them out, And every single church gives 10% to the mother church in Arizona, the very original one. Now there is a lot of money flowing around in the church, or cult, whatever you prefer. Now I've been to a lot. I've been to ones in Virginia, South Carolina, a few in North Carolina, Florida, 2 in Arizona, and there was a lot of dough moving around, I'll tell you that. Just in case you didn't watch the other video and you're just watching this video only, here's a short rundown of things that you can't do.
You cannot be alone with someone of the opposite sex. No TV, no movies, no going out, no missing any services, no going to the gym, no going where the pastor doesn't tell you, no listening to music unless it's approved by the church, no reading books unless it's approved by the church. The TV thing, you can't even have a TV inside your house. No social media, they don't want you to have anything.
But Gretchen did say that they're allowed to have Facebook now. I guess the new pastors, you know, he's chill. He's down with the cool kid pastors, or cult leaders, or whatever you want to call it again. And if you don't believe me, here's this. I'm literally crying because I'm 15 and I've gone to the Potter's house with my mom all my life. I recently got kicked out because I was caught with social media. It's freaking ruining my life and I'm beyond glad someone understands. Believe me, I understand. The hardest years aren't when you're in the cult. Though they're tough and it feels like you're being tortured the whole time, the hardest time is integrating back into normal society. So if you were there for 5 years, the rest of the world advanced and you stayed back here. Once you leave the church, you don't have any friends. The only family you have is the ones that accept you back after you've already cut them off for not coming to the church. You don't have any social media to reach out to people that you knew. You don't have any shows on Netflix or anything. All you have is yourself and your thoughts on alone. Nah, but seriously, talking to the people in the comments, talking to other people on Discord, and even my own situation. Once you leave the church, and if you don't go to the church, your family will cut you off, your friends will cut you off, the pastor will tell everyone you need to cut them off because they're now living in sin. They have backslid, and if you choose to be with them, you're choosing to backslide as well. But it's not a cult. Yeah, right. So let's read a couple of comments of people I don't know that went to a church in the fellowship that I have no clue who are, but obviously we're searching up their cult on the internet. If you're talking about the Door Christian Fellowship, the Potter's House, you are exaggerating. That's not how it is at all. Don't lie to get more views. It is not a cult, it's a fellowship. I vouch for this church. They are my family and they have reached out to me and I because they care for my salvation. Seems like you're not saved, so you fled, making all the excuses in the book to not have accountability. This is one of the last churches who are preaching the gospel in the right way and actually letting people know that God loves us and doesn't want us to not make it in his kingdom. Accountability is big again. You can never be alone with your own thoughts. You can never have a day to yourself when they knock at your door. If you think about TV, they will find you. Let's read another comment. You are ridiculous. You're blaming the church because you wanted to be involved in sin and backstabbing. Blah, 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 blah. If someone wants to leave somewhere of their own free will, let them leave. This is normal society that we're in. If you want to be in the cult, stay in the cult. If people want to leave, let them leave. This is again a comment from the girl who was kicked out for having social media. I was also supposed to get married next year to a boy who was 17 currently as well, so we can get sent out. Sent out meaning that they're going to go create their own church or cult or whatever. That hurts to read because, now these are words from the main pastor, the very, very main first cult leader, and I'm paraphrasing here. It doesn't matter who you marry. Just go out and pick a woman. God will make it work. So with that ideology, the church pretty much, your pastor, your friends, everyone tries to group you in with the same age group, whoever's the closest to you, single of the opposite sex. Though you can't be alone, they pressure you and pressure you and pressure you and pressure you to marry because it's to the glory of God that man is married or something like that. Yeah, I don't really remember. All I know is single men are looked down upon. You're not really even like considered like a man. You have to get married and then you can like hang out with the other married men. It's kind of like they force you out of the clique until you're married and then they're like, oh, you're now allowed in. They are very happy to say that they have over 2,000 churches in America. Scratch that, the world. They're spreading like a bad disease and they take pride in that. But that's not to mention that like 1/3 of the churches that go out fail. Everyone, not everyone, like I said, like 1/3, it's a rough estimate, go out into normal life and people go out to be a pastor. The wife and husband, now that they're gone from the cultic practices and they're out on their own, that the pastor that sent them out is trusting them to hold tight to those practices, they go out and accidentally melt into normal society again, leaving the church to never go back again. And thank God for those people. There are cases all over the internet of people telling what the church did to them, about how they were trapped, about how awesome and holy they make it seem while you're there. And then when they decide to leave, they get trashed by their people that they thought were their friends. and it's plastered all over the internet. All you gotta do is type in their names. When I was in the church and they said do not look up the church, I looked it up, and on a list of top 10 cults in America, I just happened to be in one of them. Isn't that just lovely? The pastor of the church that I was going to is now gone from that church. He got brought back to his original church for trying to sleep with other women in the church. Oopsie! They try to act like they're sinless and then take all your money, take all your freedom, pride, and dignity, and TV, and then don't even follow this stuff. Like, what the heck? They prey on the most vulnerable of people and then live in these nice big houses. It's lovely. I know this video is a slight turn from the regular videos I make. It's not so happy, joyful, and it's kind of serious. But I just want you to know, don't go to these places. Save yourself the time and freedom. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you agree, or obviously some of you guys are gonna disagree, let me know down in the comments. Please share my stuff on Facebook. Obviously that helps the video do really well. I love you guys so much. If you have any experiences with the cult or with the churches or anything like that, please tell me down in the comments. I will respond. I really hope I see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. We did hit 1.3K.
Who are you people?
Like the video if you want to help me out, and goodbye.